Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Jackson here. We are going to be starting a new unit, and we're going to be talking about animals. So I'm really excited about this unit coming up. So we're going to get started today, and I'm going to tell you what our objective is to start. So when we are doing our lessons, we have a learning target, our success criteria, and the relevance. So our learning target today is I can identify and use text features. Our success criteria is I will identify and use text features to understand information in the text. And the relevance of that is that identifying and using text features helps me understand what I am reading. So we're going to focus on the learning target. I can identify and use text features. Okay, so we're going to start by talking about animals and habitats. If you see my chart right here, we're going to talk about the animal, habitat, their diet, which is what they eat, and their nighttime activities. I wonder why we're going to be talking about nighttime activities. We're going to find that out. So let's start with one of our animals that we're going to be talking about today, and that is the bat, okay? So I'm going to write bat up here. And I'm sure many of you know where you can find bats. Think about where would you find bats? The habitat is where they live. That's right. We can find bats in caves. So we're going to write cave right here. And what do you think bats eat? That's right. They eat insects. So we're going to write insects here. And during the night, bats fly around. They are awake at night. So bats have a nighttime activity of flying around looking for insects. That's what they do. So let's write that on our chart. Flying around to find insects. Okay, so that's an example of what we're going to be doing on our chart. We're going to be talking about the animal, their habitat, where they live, their diet, what they eat, and what they do during the night. Okay, so our bat lives in a cave, he eats insects, and he flies around to find insects at night. So some other things I want you to think about with our animals and our chart. When we're talking about habitat, think about other habitats. We have a cave, but we know that some animals live in the ocean. Some animals live in the desert. Can you think of other habitats? Think about that for just a second. That's right. Some animals live in the jungle or forest. Some animals live in the grasslands. Why is a habitat important? What does a habitat provide for animals? That's right. We just talked about needs and wants, and one of our needs is shelter. The habitat provides a home for the animals. Sometimes animals might need to change their habitat. Why might an animal need to change their habitat? Where they live. Yes, sometimes, unfortunately, we clear land. So the forest and the trees that the animals live in, they may have to move somewhere else. Also, sometimes there are forest fires. Sometimes there might be an oil spill. So there are a lot of reasons why animals might need to change their habitats. Well, today we're going to be looking at text features. Remember our I can statement? I can identify and use text features. Okay? So, with that in mind, we're going to be looking at a text today. This text is called Nighttime Animals. Nighttime Animals. If you look at the cover of this book and the title, Nighttime Animals, what do you think we'll be reading about? What do you think we're going to be learning about? Think about that for just a moment and share with someone at home. Well, this is a nonfiction book. So I know this is going to teach me real information about my topic. My purpose for reading Nighttime Animals is to learn about the topic, nighttime animals. What animals are active during the night? And what does that mean to be a nighttime animal? Remember, we're using text features, identifying and using text features. We've been learning a lot about text features and how they help us understand our topic. Today, we're going to be using a specific text feature, and that is a heading. I know you guys remember what the heading is from earlier in the year. We're going to be using headings today to help us with our purpose for reading, to find out about nighttime animals. So this whole book is about nighttime animals, but each section has a specific idea related to the topic, nighttime animals. So we're going to start with our first page. Okay. And on this page, I see a heading. Do you see a heading? That's right. Our heading is up here, and it says Bush Baby. Bush Baby. I can use my heading, and I can see the pictures. I see an animal sitting on a branch, and there are labels on here, another text feature. They've labeled the ears, the tail, and the hand. So using my heading and my pictures and labels, I see that this section of the story or the book is going to be teaching me about a particular nighttime animal called a bush baby. Let's read this page and see what we can learn. Bush baby. Bush babies don't sleep at night. They like to climb and leap through jungle trees. They use their big ears and eyes to hunt for insects and catch them in their hands as they fly by. Wow. So our purpose for reading is to find out about nighttime animals. And we are learning about nighttime animals. We just learned by using our text feature that this section is going to be about the bush baby. And in our section, we learned information we can put on our chart. So let's do that really quickly. So our animal is the bush baby. And when I read, it says right in here that they don't sleep at night. They like to climb and leap through the jungle trees. So where does the bush baby live? The habitat is the jungle. And their diet, it says they hunt for insects. So we have another insect eater. Okay? And their nighttime activities, they climb and leap through jungle trees. All right. The heading of this section will teach me about the bush babies, who are a specific nighttime animal. Let's do another page. What heading do you see on this page? That's right. Our heading is bat. So I'm going to model thinking out loud for you. I see a picture and I see my heading is bat. So I can see that this page is going to teach me about the nighttime animal, because that's our title, Nighttime Animals. So the bat is a nighttime animal. And again, they've labeled the head, the ear, and the wing. And I see that the bat has wings. Let's read this page. Bats live in large groups. During the day, they hang upside down in dark caves. At night, they fly around looking for insects. Mother bats can find their babies by their smell and cry. So we did say the bat lives in a cave, they eat insects, and they fly around at night to find insects. Now it's your turn. Look at this page. Find the heading, look at your pictures and the labels. So what are you going to learn on this page? What information are you going to learn? What animal are you going to learn about? Take a moment to pause the video and talk with a parent or an adult at home about what you think the heading is and what you're going to learn based on using the text feature, the heading. Okay, I hope you paused and now you're back. We're going to read this page and talk about it. Fox. Some foxes live in the hot desert. They spend the day sleeping in cool dens under the sand. At night, they come out to hunt for lizards and insects. When they're in danger, these foxes bury themselves in the sand. So let's fill out our chart real quick. We have a fox, and their habitat is the desert. Their diet is lizards and insects. And it says at night they hunt. So that is their nighttime activity. Now, I want to point out to you, remember when we first started talking, I talked about reasons why animals might need to change habitats, okay? Well, this says that this particular fox lives in the hot desert. Some of them do. But here in Virginia Beach, we don't live in a hot desert, but we have fox here. I'm sure many of you have probably seen a fox from time to time. And they live in the woods here. So different types of foxes live in different habitats. So that's something to keep in mind too. All right, we're going to do one more page. Again, look for the heading. Look at the pictures. Pause the video and talk to someone at home about the heading and what you think you're going to learn. What animal are you going to learn about based on the heading? All right, this page says owl. Some owls live in old farm buildings. At night, they fly low over the ground looking for food. Their soft wing feathers help them fly silently. Owls can even catch mice in their talons without making a sound. So let's see what we have here. We have the owl for our animal. And some of them live in farmhouses. It says that they eat mice and they fly and hunt at night. So we're finding a pattern here, aren't we? A lot of our nighttime animals, their nighttime activity is hunting. Hunting. I also want to point out to you, as we are talking about animals for our new unit of study and content, animals that are awake at night, I am sure many of you know what those type of animals are called. There's a special name for them. I hear you yelling it out. Nocturnal. Animals that stay awake at night are called nocturnal animals. So that is something that is important for you to know. So we have been talking about all of our different text features and how they help us in the last several weeks. Today, we focused on one specific text feature. I can identify and use text features. Our success criteria was I will identify and use text features to help understand information in the text, and we did that. And the relevance, which is why is it important? Because identifying and using text features helps me understand what I am reading. So by using those text features, it helps us understand what we are learning about. It helps us understand the information that we're reading. Look at all this information we already know just from reading a few pages in this book. We're going to be continuing looking at different text features and different animals during our unit. You guys did a great job today. Don't forget to always think about your objective when you're reading. I can identify and use text features. Very important, especially in a nonfiction book, such as Nighttime Animals. I hope you guys enjoyed learning about your different animals today, and we're going to talk more about it throughout the week with some of your other first grade teachers. I'll see you soon.